episode 25, I think, of the 3 Count Out podcast. My name is Era V1. We've had one of the busiest weeks in the world of professional wrestling recently, and we are only 56 days away from the start of the college football season, so there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up around the corner. And this week, I am joined by the full cast, baby. We got everybody back. We got Mike. We got FGK. We got Jackal. Gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, we do. I'm Mike. We had a good week of wrestling, so I'm excited to talk about that and what's to come.
The rumors of Chad Gable's demise are greatly exaggerated, apparently. Hi, I'm Jackal. God almighty, I don't feel like this past week was real. I feel like I just sort of blinked and now all of a sudden it's Monday again and I'm stuck here in this jail cell getting ready to record another episode with my boys.
Jail cell?
Don't you tell them where I put you.
Oh, sorry. I mean this lovely flower bed. It's so nice and comfortable.
What are you guys doing over there in Detroit?
Don't you fucking worry about what we're doing over here.
All right, hey, fuck it, man. As long as we get an episode. Don't go Uncle Howdy.
I can't wait for you guys to tell me about everything that's happened, because I have not watched wrestling in about 2 weeks, and the past 2 weeks is apparently where everything happened. So I can't wait for you guys to tell me about it, and then I can go back and see it for myself. Hi, I'm FGK.
I can't wrap my head around the fact that you missed everything. I know most of the time people say that they're exaggerating, but no, genuinely, you missed everything that happened.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty much behind on mostly. I think what was Clash of the Castle? That was the last thing where I watched. I have not watched a thing past, and Chad Gable got shot. I know that.
Shot in the head.
Here's a quick recap of everything that happened in the last week in the world of wrestling.
Okay.
It started
quick and easy
with the return of Seth Rollins. That's what started Monday Night Raw. Then Drew McIntyre fucking quit Raw. Uncle Howdy murdered everybody backstage. Apparently, Chad Gable not shot in the head, according to Triple H. However, the fact that Triple H knows that we said he was shot in the head, I want to know which fucking burner account Triple H has on Twitter. But I'm working on that. I'll come back. I'll come back to that once I have more findings there. Then we go over to Tuesday, and Joe Hendry appears in NXT.
Who said his name? Who did it?
Yeah, and he immediately gets eliminated.
Oh. Yeah, dude.
Immediately gets eliminated by the entire NXT roster.
We got the pop. Oh, he's gone. Oh, boy.
Oh,
but he's going to be back.
Exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, he's going to be back. It's fine. And then
he said, "Any show, Sean. Any show.
Any show, including Raw and SmackDown, probably.
Allegedly,
I think maybe Money in the Bank. But then nothing really important happened during AEW. You didn't really. It's AEW.
You were there.
Well, I wasn't there at Dynamite. I was.
Oh, sorry.
So I thought I was going to be on last week's Rampage and last week's Collision, being Friday and Saturday. But it turns out that they were actually filming Ring of Honor for that week, and then Collision for that Saturday, and then Rampage for this week's Rampage, which at the time of you listening to this, if you're listening to this on Saturday, was yesterday. So I've now been on AEW for 2 weeks, front and center on that little ramp cam. You can find me 6 rows back. I'm the one wearing the Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirt. But so then nothing really happened. Dynamite. Go over to Friday, and we get Paul Heyman and CM Punk interacting again. Then we have the murder of CM Punk at the hands of Drew McIntyre. Because, spoiler alert, he didn't actually quit. Then we end the night with Jacob Fatu breaking Cody Rhodes' ribs by hitting him with a giant fucking splash from the top turnbuckle through the announce table, and he leaped 14 feet in the air. It's fucking insane. And then we had Collision, where again I was there. And a luchador got unmasked by the Rainmaker. by Kazuchika Okada's fucking clothesline finish that he does. He hit the motherfucker so hard that his mask flew off. So he's now permanently unmasked because that's how luchadors work. And now at the time of recording this, we're sitting here before Monday Night Raw, and I can only assume that tonight Pat McAfee's going to get murdered by Uncle Howdy. There's your recap.
All right, I got a lot to catch up on. I mean, get it all, but I kind of want to see it.
You got a lot of watching.
In the football world, nothing happened.
Well, one thing happened. We inched closer to two things: to the start of college football and the release of EA Sports College Football, because that is only in mid-July.
Which is so close. It's so close. We've waited more than 10 years for this game. It's been so long, and I can taste it. I can salivate it. I think I'm going to get like 2 more paychecks beforehand. And I've already put some money aside. It's happening no matter what. Because actually, this segues perfectly into a question that we received from Anaya Satoa on Spotify. Anaya Satoa asked, what is, whether it's our favorite, the best game we've ever watched, what have you, it's up to dealer's choice, our favorite or best football game we have ever watched in the past, gentlemen?
Honestly, just because of the implications, I'm going to go with the... I don't remember who they faced, but when the Lions officially cemented their path of going... what was it? Winning their first playoff game in like 30 years or something.
Ooh, when Stafford and the Rams came back to Detroit and the Lions
genuinely
knocked them
pleasant
off.
game, awesome game, close game. That was a really fun one.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. That is such a phenomenal pick, especially for a Detroit homer, obviously. Let alone the fact that it was actually just a good game in of itself, coming down to the wire, because blowout games are just not fun to watch for anybody. You watch the Stars do their thing. This was after Laporta allegedly got hurt the week before and still made a miraculous comeback to be able to play in the said Rams game. Gibbs had his moments. Amon-Ra had his moments. Jared Goff had his moments. Old Hutch showed up and put Stafford's dick in the dirt. I think all 3 phases
him
of Lions.
2 different ways at the same time.
I don't putting his dick in the dirt. Who's grabbing his dick?
I mean, listen. It was for Lions fans only.
It was on only Lions.
Yeah, only Lions. I love it.
Lions.
All 3 phases of football firing off, breaking a 50-year streak that hopefully the Lions never, ever, 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 ever have to see again. Fingers crossed. And honestly, hopefully they do the same this year, man. Mike, what about you? Favorite football game?
I was gonna go similar because I'm gonna stick in Michigan, and it's just because it took a lot longer than I thought for it to finally happen for a Michigan team. And that's just U of M winning the championship.
Bam.
That was one of those ones that just, it made me so happy. And, you went into that game thinking like, oh man, this is going to be like offense versus offense. I don't know what's going to happen here. And then Michigan was like, no, it's not going to be offense versus offense. It's going to be us whooping their ass for an hour.
And boy,
and it's just so good to see, especially because it's not going to happen again this year.
No, unfortunately, no. As much as I would love to be a Michigan homer, I am also a Michigan realist. Sharon Moore, unfortunately, is very unproven. He's got a very tall task ahead of him as well this year, because he's got to run a gauntlet of games, including against Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, all the sorts. He's got to run the gambit, and I think probably not going to make it unscathed again this year. But I do think we are going to surprise a couple people. I don't know about no back-to-back undefeated seasons, but we'll see. And I wholeheartedly agree as well, because the last time Michigan had any sort of national relevance, I was also born, because it was the 97-98 season, and I was just a wee baby then.
What, you weren't watching? You didn't come out of the womb watching football?
Unfortunately, not out of the womb in maize and blue garb. Much to the chagrin of Michigan fans around the world. I get it, I know, but
Blasphemy.
Being able to see that now, I was it brought a tear to my eye. It felt good. And Era, what about you, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of moments that felt good, I think for me, the game that I always think of whenever I'm thinking of like just the most fun that I've had at a football game was the 2016 Penn State whiteout against Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, you were there.
I was there.
You were there.
I was a wee little freshman, but I was there, and that was before I worked for Penn State football. So it was before I worked in the stadium. So I was there. I was in the student section. I fucking tailgated my ass off before, like
as you should.
And like that was, you got to understand that at that time, like we went into that game. Everybody was saying fire James Franklin. It wasn't a great season, and we weren't even supposed to fucking win that game. And it was like that one block, like that opened it all up. And then from there, we went on to win the Big Ten championship. And if you've ever been in Beaver Stadium or even any college stadium, if it's the right size and the people are loud enough, that shit fucking shakes. And especially with Beaver Stadium, it gets loud as fuck in there. So it was just electric. And like, I mean, it seemed like that was the moment that just kind of opened everything up, and Penn State just started firing on all cylinders. And then we went on to have super strong seasons after that. Like that really seemed like a big turning point. It's like, that's always the spot in my mind where I'm like, that's a good football game. Because yeah, the plays are awesome. Yeah, the team is great. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not winning, you're not having fun. And that's right when we started winning. And like, that's just always the moment that I keep coming back to. So for me, it's, yes, cliche, but I was there, and it was so much fucking fun. And it was so like, it was electric. It was insane.
And to this day, the last time that Penn State has beaten Ohio State as well, too. Mm-hmm. A memorable game, a college classic.
Yeah, fuck Ohio.
And the fact that, oh my God, I wholeheartedly agree. Ohio State Buckeyes fans, not allowed on this podcast. My rule, just made up right now. Ohio State fans, if you want to be on, sorry, too bad, so sad. You better
just renounce your Buckeye fandom, and just say that you like Michigan or Penn State. We'll let you on.
That's fine. That's fine. Just drop it. Leave the garb at the door, because to be honest, I don't want to hear. And going with me being the final answer, I think I've picked a perfect game as someone who has played. I think arguably the most football here out of everyone.
Oh yeah, probably
about 12.
Probably wrong.
12, 13 years of my life. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Mike was the starting linebacker for the Carolina Panthers at one point. That's why they suck now, because they lost you.
Of course.
Yeah, that's it.
I picked an answer that's very near and dear to my heart. An answer that's gonna unite us as a front, as a podcast front, because the game I remember the most and I have the most like enjoyable experience with is easily a classic experience between the Lions and the Eagles in the snowiest NFL game of all time. The good old Snow Bowl between Philly and Detroit, with that iconic moment of Calvin Johnson going down, grabbing that catch, and coming back up with a face full of snow, face mask covered in it entirely. Unfortunately, the Lions did not win this game. The Eagles did end up winning the Snow Bowl. But weather games, when you're playing football, are easily the most enjoyable experiences to be a part of. And just seeing how well the players that were involved with it remember that game, and how how fondly they talk about it, and just knowing how it feels to play in that type of environment just brings a smile to my face, because it just looks like so much fun. It really does. Just running, because it reminds you of when you were a kid. Like, let's call a spade, man. Yeah. It just reminds you of you're out in your backyard playing with your boys, slinging the football around, just having fun, man. That's it. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all a game. Yeah, sure, this fan base hates another. Yeah, we get that. But it's still just a game at the end of the day, man. And just watching that brings back such good memories for me. So there you go. And nice, Satoa. You got all 4 answers out of us. Thank you so much for leaving a question. I appreciate you so much. What?
Can I ask my own fan question?
Oh! For this week or next week?
For this week, if we could. If you can think of something off the top of your head.
All right.
What's a moment in football that could have been great but was ruined by bad commentating?
Oh, bad commentary. Oh.
Because I already have one locked.
Oh, no.
I guess I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, my God. Anything involving Joe Buck.
I was just about to say Joe Buck.
Anything involving Joe Buck.
And he's got it. He's at the 10. He's at the 20.
Philadelphia Eagles have won the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, bud.
So
I can do the opposite of that. Like, I can tell you I could probably tell you the greatest commentary moment, and it's one that Danny still holds to this day. But let's play the game. That voice crack when State beat Michigan, like the last 2 seconds of the game, may be one of the greatest commentary moments of all time.
I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't think so, but the point still stands.
So when Calvin Johnson, and they were going for it the whole year, when he broke, what was it, the single season receiving yard record?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
about. And it was the year where I think they either went 0-16 or 1-15, one of the two. And bitch ass John Gruden was commentating, and he goes,
"Oh, gross."
Well, it didn't really matter. It's not like this beating this record mattered, because look at the season. It's like, fuck you, man. He just did something that nobody else is going to do for years. And he did it in the worst season we've had. Could you imagine if we had a better line? What numbers he would have put up? Oh, exactly. So
oh, my God.
That made me hate John Gruden immediately. Him and his doofy haircut.
And his racist beliefs.
Oh. No,
allegedly, he just doesn't like Antonio Brown a lot more than other players for some reason. But who knows about that one? Am I right?
Oh, just like Triple H and black people, apparently.
Oh
I'm sorry.
Yep, I
wasn't
saw
that Vince McMahon and black people?
Oh no, it was MVP.
Yeah, there was like a interview. I guess MVP was bitching and complaining that he wasn't getting booked, and said it was because Triple H didn't like black people.
Oh, I think it's because MVP doesn't do anything.
I think it's because he's in his mid-50s and Triple H has, a nice young roster, and he doesn't need to rely on veterans that much anymore.
Doesn't need to put somebody like the Hardys on TV every week.
MVP's going, why aren't you pushing Bobby Lashley? Come on, he's in his prime. Come on, he just turned 48. He's in his prime.
Well, isn't Lashley out with an injury right now?
I think so.
I don't know. I feel like they just put him with the Street Profits, and they still have done bubkiss with him.
They gave them a name. They're called the Pride.
Oh boy,
they were called the Pride. Like I said, I haven't seen them in a minute.
They're a team. They're called the Pride. They're the current team.
They had the Mania match with Karrion Kross and friends, and sort of dropped off the face of the earth afterwards.
I already forgot about that match.
Oh, so did Triple H.
It's fair.
Triple, what did you think of our match last year? You think we're going this year? You had a match oh, you did. Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, right. You were on Mania. That's right.
Oh, fuck.
Whoops, sorry. My bad.
I think I lost a bet on that one.
But, I mean, if what MVP's saying has any merit to it, I mean, personally, I'm not going to be too upset by it, because You know, I'm okay without the Pride or Hurt Business 2.0. I'm really good. I feel like they've already sort of ran its course, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I feel like
that's why they started pairing him with Kevin Owens instead.
I feel like the Bloodline did everything that the Hurt Business set out to do, but better.
Yeah, and the Bloodline has gotten a lot more scary now with Jacob Fatu showing up on SmackDown. Apparently, he's been signed for months, and he's just been chilling. Triple H likes him. Everybody backstage likes him. So they were just kind of hanging on to him and giving him a nice special debut. And I mean, I think they should do that for more people because nobody saw that coming. You know, if it was like, all right, he signed with the WWE, and then the next night he shows up on SmackDown, like people would see that coming. They would, you know, people are expecting that run in. But when you hold on to him like that, and you know, you put, I mean, look at the position that Jacob Fatu was brought in on, right? The Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, you know, they were out of the ring, beaten up because of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and then you had, you know, 3 dudes in the ring. Solo Sikoa's on his ass in the corner. You know, like Jacob Fatu was literally Superman, like, and he's insane, and he looks. I don't know if you guys have like seen him, like really watched him.
Oh yeah, they gave him the Walter workout immediately.
Oh yeah, he dropped weight. He's like on the indies. He's like I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3", but on the indies he was like 280. I don't know what he's at right now, but like, and he didn't. He just traded it all for muscle. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's a big boy.
Yeah, he didn't get smaller. He just got more in shape.
He got scarier.
That's very scary.
I was like, oh wow, he's a fat dude that's athletic, and now it's like, okay, now he's just a massive Samoan that's more athletic.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Now I believe Triple H called him on McAfee today the Samoan werewolf, if I heard him correctly.
Yeah, that's his nickname. Yeah. That was his thing on the indies too.
That's a really dumb nickname, sorry.
I mean, yeah. Well, hey, I mean,
werewolf.
You tell him that, I'm not.
At least they didn't change his name because WWE they've been copywriting a couple new names recently. One that I think is funny is Talla Tonga, Talla Tonga. The rumor is that's for Hikuleo, which is Tama Tonga's actual brother, who's taller than him. So he would be the Talla Tonga.
Oh dear God.
And then another one, which I think we all know who this one is meant for, and honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Caesar Sikoa.
Oh my God, Andy Serkis?
R-Truth. Oh yeah, Andy Serkis.
R-Truth is going to join the Bloodline. They're going to call him Caesar Sikoa. I think listen, Solo's not Solo anymore, so I fuck with it.
So who's going to be Caesar?
Wait, who's Solo?
What? Solo Sikoa.
Solo is Solo.
You just said Solo's not Solo, or did I hear that wrong?
No, so Solo Sikoa, when he was on NXT, he wasn't part of a team, so he was solo.
Oh.
But now he's running the Bloodline, so he's not solo anymore. He's on a team. And honestly, if you want him to be kind of like the fucking campy mob boss, he kind of looks like he's wearing his dad's suit, you know? But
he's Teamy Sikoa.
He's together, Sikoa.
The more
together,
the more I hate it.
What says togetherness like Caesar, the Roman emperor who got stabbed in the back by the people closest to him? Spoiler alert.
So he's gonna get backstabbed by Tolo Tonganga?
Well, so I assume now that Jacob Fatu is in the WWE.
No,
I assume
we gotta get Kevin to look up all the names and try and pronounce them.
I like how you flubbed on Tonga. When it's Tonga, you could have flubbed on. Never mind. You know what?
This is what we've come to expect. This is the same man who confused Cora Jade and Jade Cargill.
Oh my god!
You expect him to know Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa?
Oh shit, there's two of them. I thought those were the same names for a second.
He's learning. Love it.
That's funny. The first one that pops up is The Rock.
Oh, that's Tonga. Off is the direction you can fuck her.
Okay,
Anyway.
so the official bloodline list, mind you, in order says The Rock,
Yep.
the Usos.
Uh-huh.
Again, this is in order.
Yep.
Sami Zayn,
Yep.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa,
There it is.
then Roman Reigns,
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Tonga Loa,
Yep.
Tama Tonga,
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Jacob Fatu.
Correct.
Okay, I learned.
There you go.
The Rock's ahead of the table, and then Sami Zayn's kind of like two below him.
Yeah.
Sami
Zayn's the vice president.
Still in it.
Yeah, he's definitely still in the bloodline. But no,
It's
I
all
think
just been a elaborate ruse this whole time.
I think where this is going now, I know like earlier in the year we thought Survivor Series was going to be like Rock versus Roman, like Team Rock versus Team Roman. I think Survivor Series now is going to be Samoans versus Tongans. I think it's going to be a literal race war, and I'm cool with that because that's going to be a crazy
When you
match.
say it like that.
I mean, that's what it is.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember what movie that's from where they yell race war. I can't remember.
Toy Story.
Oh, that was it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my favorite when when Buzz Lightyear he's taking off to infinity and race wars.
When he starts stabbing the pig.
Man, I watched a different Toy Story movie.
I will admit a bloodline like Civil War does actually sound really fun to watch with like Solo's new little cronies, and then obviously it'd be Roman, the Usos. It has to be both of them.
Yeah.
And then Sammy.
They also
Sammy's not actively in the bloodline.
Sammy's out of it.
He's not in the bloodline actively. I think
No, but I mean, I feel like he's outnumbered, right? Because it's Solo and like the four guys now.
Well,
so there's five.
Yeah.
of them.
So the actual related bloodline is it's like so Jacob Fatu is related to the Usos. He's related to Roman Reigns. He's related, like they're all cousins.
And Solo.
Yeah, and Solo. So
Caesar.
Roman Reigns. Well, he's not called Caesar Sokoa yet. We don't need to. Okay, but we got Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. Those are the four actual cousins in the bloodline.
Gotcha. And then who plays the salad?
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Yeah,
okay.
So
now we're catching up.
Dwayne.
There you go.
Dwayne's like related by blood oath, and then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are not related at all. Their dad was tag team partners with Dwayne's dad. So that's where I think it's gonna cross over. So I think you're gonna have maybe Solo, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu versus Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Hikuleo if he debuts. If he's even signed, I don't know. Like that, I don't exactly know what the Tongan side looks like. Or maybe Solo Sikoa stays on the Tongan side, and it's the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus the Tongans and Solo Sikoa. I don't know, but I feel like that's where it's going. I don't know how they're going to balance the sides out. I also know that they've gone back and forth with making war games like 4v4 or 3v3. So I don't know which one they're going to do. But I feel like that's at least where War Games, or at least if they are doing that, or Survivor Series in general, I feel like that's the direction that the Bloodline's going.
Thankfully, we got a bunch of pay-per-views from now until then to get this shit figured out, because up on the horizon is Summer Slam being held in Cleveland, Ohio. not being held in Indianapolis this year, much to the chagrin of Pat McAfee. But just wanted to touch on it real quick that McAfee announced today that what did he say? The Indie Sports Coalition signed a multi-year deal with the WWE to have not only the Rumble, not only SummerSlam, but also WrestleMania all being held in Indianapolis over the course of multiple years through a new multi-year partnership. So I don't know about you Michigan boys, but speaking from experience, Indy's only a 4-hour drive away. Don't ask why I know that.
Shit, we may be able to find your tooth.
Yeah, it's still in that motel somewhere.
What?
Don't ask. I don't want to talk about it.
Hold on, wait,
leave it at that.
Yeah,
you lost the tooth at a motel in Indiana? What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Trust me.
I'd be happy to.
It sounds like we're lying, but we're telling the truth.
That's the worst part is I know you're not
was a lie.
No,
I know, and I know it's not a bit. I know that you're telling the truth. I can understand how that's a real
questions
thing.
than answers, really.
Basically, just wanted to touch on that. Maybe a little something down the line. You know, if one of us hits the lottery, be able to pay for everybody else. I think it's cool that the U.S. is still going to be able to get shows, much to the chagrin of the foreign audiences. I know you guys like your soccer chants. I know you guys scream that AJ's phenomenal in French and jump up and down and shake the building, but I would not like to have to pay for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of airline travel to go see a pay-per-view. So, American privilege, suck it, nerds.
Well, before we get to SummerSlam, we should talk about the pay-per-view that's going to be. If you're listening to this on the day it releases, if you're listening to this on Saturday, tomorrow is AEW Forbidden Door. This is the pay-per-view where AEW and New Japan. And now CMLL, which is a promotion in Mexico, it's where all the luchadors are coming from. So that's going to be an insane pay-per-view. And I was at Collision, and let me tell you, they need a good card because they did not fill half of that fucking arena at Collision. I was at the Allentown taping, and I'm not kidding you, literally half of the arena was not filled. It was all tarped off. And everybody was like, oh, it's hard cam. It's hard cam. Dog, I've been to a WWE show. They only tarped off like one section for the hard cam. It's so weird seeing an AEW wrestler get up on the top rope during their entrance and motion for the crowd to make noise. And there's nobody there because we're all behind them. Like, yeah. Any noise. And I can also guarantee, because I was loud enough and I was close enough to enough cameras where I could have been heard, and there were, again, not a lot of people in that arena. So I can guarantee you that they've been editing in crowd noise for Collision because they cut out a lot of the stuff that I was screaming at the wrestlers, which, granted, maybe the language was a little strong.
Well, you can't tell people to tweak their nipples. Come on now.
I did tell Daddy Magic. I did ask him if his nipples were hard. But I did call Chris Jericho a couple of names. Those did not make it in. But we could still look at the card for Forbidden Door anyway, because AEW, I forgive you. And we're again, a great card. We're starting off bear with me here, because it's an AEW card. It's literally 10 matches, so strap in. But for the AEW World Championship, we have the champion, Swerve Strickland, versus Will Ospreay. And I mean, this is going to be it's going to be an insane match. Probably. Yeah.
If not close to it.
I hope this is the main event. I really do, because nothing's going to be better than this.
I swear, when titles on the line.
Yes. Yeah. AEW World Championship title on the line.
Very, very interesting. I think that kind of changes my answer a little bit. I think Will Ospreay keeps the momentum going and knocks off Swerve Strickland.
Is Will Ospreay still our international champion or whatever it is?
Yes, he is. Yep. Okay. He's the current AEW international champion, and he has cut several promos saying how he can very easily travel with both belts. He's traveled with more, and he has.
They call Willie two belts.
Two belt Bill, not out of the question.
Old Willie two belts.
But I agree. I think Will Ospreay I think he's a safe bet. Nothing against Swerve Strickland. I'm not going to be upset if Swerve Strickland retains. I think there's plenty more that you can do with Swerve Strickland. There's plenty more that you can do with Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. And when Prince Nana being out there, you can very easily do a fucky finish and Swerve retains. And, you know, it is what it is. I think Swerve is technically a heel anyway, so fuck it. Why not? But, I mean, again, Will Ospreay has held more gold at once. So, like, I don't see anything wrong with putting two belts on Will Ospreay. So I'm also in that Will Ospreay camp just because I think I don't think it's a bad decision, but I don't think it's I think people are predicting Swerve to retain, and I feel like Will Ospreay winning would be like a cool spin on it, and people would be happy about
it. I think people are going to be happy pretty much whichever way this goes. I don't know if I want to see Swerve lose the belt yet. So just for the sake of being different, I'm going to say Swerve retains, whether it's by, you know, sketchy means or whatever. But I mean, he's your champion. You probably should put the belt on him longer. I mean, you can have Will Ospreay carry around two belts, but then a belt that international belt, I mean, that kind of becomes irrelevant when you have the world championship, right?
So, yeah, I mean,
yeah, this could become a kind of secondary.
And, well, I guess
that means that he's going to lose to somebody not as big down the road to get rid of that belt, and then it would just kind of feel like a cop out.
Well,
that's my take.
I think what they could do if he has two belts is the AEW World Championship is the primary belt that he has on TV. But I did like when they first did the International Championship, when Orange Cassidy had the belt and when Roderick Strong had the belt, they were both doing indies. And I know that Will Ospreay wants to start getting back to doing indies. And so I think that gives him a belt that he can consistently, like, that can be his workhorse title, is he's going out to indies and he's defending the international championship. And then when he comes to pay-per-views, either he's only defending the AEW World Championship or he's, you know, just pulling double duty for the night. And maybe that's how he loses one of them, is by doing that double duty. So I mean, I understand what you're saying, though, of, like, you know, one of them is going to become secondary on TV, but quite frankly, I think the International Championship is already seen as the fucking, like, tertiary belt of AEW. So
yeah, but I mean, that's like Orange Cassidy is the one that kind of made that belt relevant to begin with. Nobody else really has. No offense to anybody else, but I mean, his title defenses and the way he looked at that belt made it bigger than it could have been otherwise. And that's why I think if you put it on somebody that already has another belt, it goes back to just being another small belt. That's why, you know, if all of a sudden they fucked Will Ospreay over somehow and we're like, oh, you win, you don't get that belt anymore. Something like that. And then, you know, they go and do a tournament for it or something. Fine. Because the Elite are fucking everybody around anyways. So if they do that, fine. Have them win. Otherwise, I mean, Swerve's still putting on incredible matches. Ospreay's still putting on incredible matches. Swerve with a belt looks good.
Yeah, he does. Preferably with the piercings in, and when he's not a faucet, as the way I like him. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, getting your
you don't like deathmatch Swerve
out, probably.
I mean, I like the death match. I just don't like, you know, watching him turn into a spigot. I'd rather, you know, it's not really something I just want, because it looks fine when the piercings are in. When they come out and it starts gushing, it just sort of, you know, makes me a little uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, you can just go around kicking people's heads in. That's what he used to do.
I like that. I like that.
Start getting into some high dives. Speaking of high dives, one person who's been, and this is kind of, you're just going to segue into the next match here, but one person that I think they've been rumored recently, and I don't remember where I've seen it. I've seen this part on Twitter, but apparently Shane McMahon has been talking to some AEW wrestlers and trying to feel out if there may be room for him in the company.
No, there's not.
No,
God fucking damn it.
Well, I think Shane McMahon fits in perfectly to this next match. Hear me out, okay? For the
I know what you're going to say already.
AEW TNT Championship, we have Konosuke Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry versus Dante Martin versus Lio Rush. We like Leo, friend of the program, and an open slot. Okay? An open slot. Now, listen, the AEW TNT Championship was vacated because an old man got on top of a steel cage and jumped off and broke his fucking leg. Who better to replace him as the AEW TNT champion than another old man who was willing to climb up on a cage and possibly break his leg? There is no better replacement for Adam Copeland as the TNT championship than Shane McMahon. And what a fucking signing that would be to have. Think Vince McMahon would have a fucking seizure. It would kill him. It would actually kill him to see Shane McMahon is all elite. That is, just think about that post. That's where I think that match is going. Again, a ladder match for the AEW TNT Championship. So it's Konosuke Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry versus Dante Martin versus Lio Rush and the open spot. I think the open spot's going to be Shane McMahon. There's nothing to confirm that. That's just I want that. I think Tony Khan has the opportunity to do the funniest shit.
No better
pay
man.
Good money to see that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Old achy breaky ACLs coming back into the fray one more time. The only man to tear both of his ACLs in one single jump on the grandest stage of them all, and go to a very lesser, grander stage.
He's got literally one more run left in him, because once those ACLs break again, he's done.
You know what? I'm here for the chaos. I think at this point AEW needs all the help they can get, man. So you know what? I'm for it.
I'm winning you over.
I'll pick Lio Rush because we like Leo. We like Leo. You were able to watch Leo over the course of the weekend.
He wasn't there.
You had a chance to watch Lio Rush over the course of the weekend.
No, he wasn't. He's scheduled for like future CZW shows. He wasn't at.
Well, motherfucker. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm trying. Oh. God damn it.
His appearances are announced. He's scheduled for the July 6th show, which at the time of listening to this is next weekend. He'll be in Maryland. He'll be at CZW, and then I think he's going to be at the We Love Wrestling event at the end of July. So the next Love Park show, I think. But yeah, his appearances are announced.
You'll have a chance to see Lio Rush in the future.
I'll have a chance. Oh yeah. I'm going to see if we can interview him. Leo, if you're listening to this, I'd like to interview you.
That's why I'm going to pick him. But I would also love for the internet to explode, because I also think it'll be very entertaining reading Twitter that night, watching everything explode because Shane McMahon's now on television again on AEW of all places. So
Shane McMahon is all elite. I'm telling you, think about it.
Lio Rush win, Shane McMahon appearance. Book it, cowards.
I'm okay with that. I like that. I'd like it better if Shane won, but I'll take what I can get.
If Shane won, I believe I would finally get cancer.
Of all the things in wrestling, that'd be the one to get you?
Yeah, because you know what would happen? He would win that belt, he would go to climb on the turnbuckle, blow both his ACLs again, and crap his pants or something.
And he'd tear him on the way up.
God, he's always so sweaty. Walking down to the ring, drenched in sweat. I don't get it. I don't understand.
He is so sweety.
As somebody that can sweat standing still, I get it.
Yeah, I sweat a lot this
relate.
weekend. I get it. I get it.
It's like, my brother, I feel you.
Mm-hmm. And then our next match on the card here for the it's a winner takes all match for both the AEW TBS Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So we have Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, versus Stephanie Vacour from New Japan. It's going to be a real good match, I guess, but I kind of don't care about it.
Gosh, I wonder who is going to win this match. Gee, that is certainly a thinker.
Whoever wins, we lose.
I mean,
fuck it. Throw Stephanie McMahon in there. Just both siblings.
No, not Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie
has a job.
What? I thought she quit.
She's back.
Oh, she's back now.
Yeah, not Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie Vacour. She's from New Japan, so you don't know her.
No, I don't.
It's okay. You don't watch New Japan. That much has been established. It's all right.
I've seen the good stuff.
Yeah, and listen, she's a very, very good women's wrestler. It's going to be a very good, Stephanie Vacour is going to drag Mercedes Moné across the finish line. That's the kind of match that they've given her. But Mercedes Moné is going to win because you're not taking the belt off of Mercedes Moné, and it's a winner-take-all match of the belt that Mercedes Moné lost. So this is going to be Mercedes winning the match. It's going to be a good match to watch. But I mean, ultimately, this is probably, in my opinion, this might be the most predictable match on the card. So
what? No. I don't know. Just give me Sasha Banks.
I don't care.
Oh, that's what happens. Mercedes gets injured, goes to the back, and then who comes out? Sasha Banks.
Oh, see?
Calling it, kayfabe alive.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mike. No, please don't all say your predictions at once.
Okay,
well, I said Stephanie McMahon. She's going to come in with Shane. She's going to come in with Shane, and she's going to insert herself, be like, "Know who I am?" And they'll be like, "No," and be like, "Bullshit." And then she gets in, and she clotheslines Sasha Banks, and then she pulls a flip RKO to Stephanie New Japan and wins the match.
Oh, Stephanie New Japan. That's right.
I forgot the name already, and Stephanie I didn't want to say anything racist, so I went with that.
Stephanie Vacour. It's all right. Okay. We'll move on to a name that's even harder to pronounce because we have a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship and for the love and everlasting affection of Mariah May because it's Pride Month and they're telling the gay story. And that is Timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's Champion, versus Mina Shirakawa from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think Timeless Toni Storm is going to win. But at the same time, Tony Khan does seem to have a hard-on for Mina Shirakawa. So
I think that's just because Mina makes everybody hard.
Well, I mean, yeah, listen, she's, she has her assets. She
knew exactly what she was doing as soon as she got on American TV, and God bless her for it.
Oh, yeah.
She knew exactly what to do. She's like, I know the American crowd. We're fine.
She's like, I know exactly what you want.
Is it hard to watch, or am I hard while watching? I'll never tell.
Both.
yeah, you got me.
But no, I mean, I love Timeless Toni Storm's character in this whole story. That I think it's so. There's some stuff in wrestling that's so just overdone and overacted that it gets good, and I feel like that's kind of where Timeless Toni Storm is. And yes. I mean, I think it's even. Not only is it a championship match, but it's now being billed as like the match for the custody of Mariah May, and it's like it's just
about the belt. Mariah May's on the line.
Yeah, neither women care about the belt. The belt's on the line. They want they want to win the belt. Both of them, like Mina wants to be the champion. Timeless Tony Storm wants to retain. But the story is about the love of Mariah May. And I think that's fucking hilarious.
That's what the people want to see. That is what it's all about. Pride Month's almost over, so we got to get in where we fit in, baby.
Hell
Give
yeah.
me Timeless Tony Storm to continue the elegant reign.
I would have picked her because every time I'm like, oh, she'll definitely lose here. She ends up winning and holding the belt for another month and a half.
Yep.
So I'm gonna finally pick Mina to upset her and take it home. How long she'll hold the belt? I don't know. A cup of coffee, but she's gonna have it for a bit.
All right, now how are you going to fit Stephanie McMahon into this one, asshole?
This was a lot harder.
He's thinking. He's thinking. I hear the smoke coming out of his ears.
So what I'm thinking is obvious naturally. So this is after this is after she just won the TBS title. Now she's gonna come down, and she's gonna be like, not only am I the new TBS Women's Champion, I want a piece of you too. And she's gonna go down there and she's gonna say, you know what month it is? It's my dad's favorite month. And then they pop the crowd because, heaven forbid they mention a different company. And then they hug and embrace and they lift hands and then a rainbow. And there you go.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
Yeah. I like that. And another thing that I like
and
is
then a high note.
We can end on a high note because the next match, you may want to be high for. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy in just a straight up singles match. They're just there. They're just chilling. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be the piss break match for a lot of people, but it really shouldn't be.
And also, it might end in a marriage, so you never know.
What?
Because Zack Sabre Jr. last year said he was going to marry Orange Cassidy, and now they're having a match together.
Aww.
I mean,
coincidence? I think not.
Little proposal at the end, little Ring of Honor boys.
This one's pretty easy for me. I personally have never found Zack Sabre Jr. entertaining.
I was just about to say that.
So I'm going to pull for Orange Cassidy on this one.
I mean, I haven't watched him in years, but when he started gaining popularity and people knew who he was, I was like, I don't really get it. Oh, he does a finger thing. Okay,
And
that's
then
it. Yep, he does a few fingers. Okay, cool. So yeah, just give me Orange Cassidy. I don't really care about Zack Sabre Jr. But you know what? I'm open to having my mind blown. And I bet Orange Cassidy's gonna.
No, Orange Cassidy's gonna get something blown for
Let's
sure.
see what you did there.
Well, speaking of gay pride, we can go to the gay champion, Jon Moxley, because he kisses everybody.
Yeah!
A singles match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So this is New Japan's primary championship. It's Jon Moxley, who's currently the champion, versus Tetsuya Naito, who is a very big star in Japan, Kev. So this should be a big match, and I feel like this is probably the only opportunity that they have to cleanly get the belt off of Jon Moxley, and keep it firmly in New Japan, because otherwise I feel like you would have to have some sort of a program with somebody who's also AEW in New Japan like he is, like how he kind of goes back and forth. And so that just limits it. So I feel like this is a really good opportunity to have a really good Jon Moxley match and still have him lose, because Tetsuya Naito fucking punches people in the face for real. So why not?
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a second since I've been caught up to date on my New Japan stuff. He is Los Ingobernables, right?
Yeah, he's the dude that does the eye thing.
Yeah, Los Ingobernables de Japón. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah,
Can I also just say I think this is really this is the most Forbidden Door match out of the entire Forbidden Door card thus far.
This is Tony Khan's dream match. This one's for him.
Everything else just kind of seems like a bog standard AEW pay-per-view card so far. I thought the whole gimmick about Forbidden Door was to cross over with all these other companies, but now that they lost, TNA to the hotter, sexier, stronger boyfriend, they only got only a few more to work with.
Okay, first of all, before we go in, I do want to point out there has been at least one person from another company in every single one of these matches. I do want to point that out.
Yes,
with the exception of Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. That's the only. Yeah, I'm looking at the card. That's the only one. And
I know that they're there. It's just it doesn't feel as impactful as past Forbidden Door cards have felt.
I know. There's no Bryan Danielson on this card. I get. Oh wait, there is. Never mind. I take it back.
Big old.
All right, fair enough.
We'll get there. It's an AEW card. There's a lot of matches. We'll get there.
You know what? For sake of being different, I'm gonna say my my bisexual king retains. I think Moxley will knock off Naito.
Because I know who both those people are, I'm gonna say the exact same thing.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Smart pick.
Thank you. I felt confident.
Yeah. John Moxley's Dean Ambrose.
Oh, sorry. I should know that. I got confused with the other guy.
You were memeing around. You're going, I don't know who Moxley is. You son of a bitch.
Oh, well, just give me Moxley. He's got a concussion from, getting banged up against a... Was it the turn post like 2 days ago?
Yeah, at fucking like Bloodsport Bushido or whatever. So Josh Barnett did Bloodsport in Japan, and the Japanese crowd was not prepared for it at all. But John Moxley probably got several concussions during his match when he was just hitting the head. He was
a little wobbly.
He cut a promo at the end of the match, and people were kind of like, "Ooh, John, you might want to go get yourself checked out. you might want to go get looked at there, bud."
Yeah, I think John Moxley was able to smell colors after that match. That's why I don't know. I don't want Mox to lose because I just like him as a wrestler so damn much.
Yeah.
But to make this podcast 50-50, I'm going to do Tetsuya Naito.
That's fair. And the Jackal, you talked about the Forbidden Doors matches and things that felt a little bit more off the norm, we'll say. This next match is definitely off the norm because this is a singles match, an open challenge for the New Japan World Television Championship.
Okay.
Their current champion is Jeff Cobb, who we have seen on AEW, but he's not on AEW all the time.
Beast.
And yeah, he's a beast. And I feel like every other match has been somebody from another company and an AEW wrestler. Jeff Cobb, yes, we've seen him on AEW, but he's definitely a New Japan wrestler on this card. So I feel like it's going to be filled by an AEW spot. I feel like AEW has a ton of people that could easily fit into this open challenge. My personal pick for this open challenge, I would love to see Claudio come out. I think Jeff Cobb versus Claudio, that's two meaty men slapping meat. And if there's one thing an AEW audience loves more than flippy dippy bullshit, insane. It's two meaty men slapping meat.
Anyone else got a semi right now, or is that just me?
I mean, I'm still trying to come back from that jip we got from the big meaty man slapping meat man match that we never got.
Oh, so your erection's still trying to come down. Oh,
it is, yeah. So this will help. Yeah.
I think can I just go, and yeah, me too, for what Eric said, because that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, right? Like, there it is. I mean, there's tons of other people that could fit in that spot, right? Like and honestly, just about anybody on AEW's like anybody that you can think of that's like, why hasn't this person had a push yet? Like they could fit in there. Like you could put like Brody King in there. you know, you got another big meaty man slap and meat like that's. You could put Wardlow in there. He hasn't fucking done shit with the Undisputed Kingdom, right? Like that would be an amazing match.
Pushing brooms again or something.
Yeah, like you have all these dudes where it's like they're fucking. Yeah, like why doesn't this dude have a championship on him? It's like put him in that spot. So there's tons of people that can fit into this open challenge, and I'm like, I know it's the fucking New Japan TV Championship, and it's like why would anybody care about this? But I'm just excited to see who fits in that spot, and I hope that AEW puts somebody in that spot that's actually going to use it well. And all I want, Tony Khan, is big meaty men slapping me. That's all I want.
We're not asking for a lot here.
No, I'm a simple man, and that's right where my mind went when I saw that open challenge. Because otherwise, I don't know how you do a match like that without any setup. You know, like that's the only kind of match where you can just throw them in the ring, have dudes just start going after each other. Like you don't need any setup for that.
Is Keith Lee still dead?
I don't know. Maybe. I
do think he's still out injured. That man has been injured for like 3 out of the last 4 years.
Last time we saw, he looked like fucking Gandalf the Grey. So maybe his old ass is coming back. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, that's because he stopped dyeing his hair.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as they don't put Dustin Rhodes in there, we're fine.
Please. Now
I know exactly what's going to happen. Thanks, Era.
Oh, way to go.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yep, you caught me. I booked AEW. Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
And I book it to suck.
What the fuck?
I can believe it.
William Shatner? What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, Kevin's got to go talk to William Shatner now. It makes sense.
Yeah, Kev had to drop off early. Since he didn't say anything, you could find him at twitch.tv, or I guess not twitch.tv. You can find him at youtube.com at FireGuyKev. Yeah, so we're all in agreement there. Jeff Cobb, open challenge, is going to be big meaty man slap meat.
Sounds about right.
Okay, great. So
whether it's Claudio or anybody else, I am okay with it.
I am 1 billion% for Claudio. I think you booked that right. Otherwise, Jeff Cobb against Darby Allin, and I want to see Darby Allin get ragdolled for 30 minutes.
That is a good point. The next match, looking at this match, maybe I take it back. Maybe this is the most predictable match on the card and not the Mercedes Moné match, because this match is just a singles match. There's no championship on the line. No nothing. But it is your favorite scumbag, MJF, versus, I'm not going to say this name right, I think it's Hechicero?
Yeah, I looked at that earlier and I was like, hey, I got that. And then I didn't have it.
I don't know shit about him.
It's Hechicero. I think you got it right, pretty much.
Hechicero,
and say where he's from.
It's Spanish for wizard. So MJF versus a wizard.
MJF versus Mexican Chris Jericho.
Arriba.
No, Chris Jericho's he's later down the card.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys.
Hi, guys. What did you say that got bleeped out real quick?
Oh, so just while he was coming, so I was on the railing. Like, I'm not kidding when I'm saying, like, you can see me on TV. I'm in every fucking entrance shot. Listen, I know we play it up for the podcast a little bit, but I, honest to God, don't like Chris Jericho. I don't like his character. I wanted, which I understand that's the point, but I just don't like the fact that his gimmick is just taking up TV time. I think that's, I get it. I understand. I get what he's going for. That's not helpful in a company where the roster is overbloated and people already can't get enough TV time without Chris Jericho being on the show. So when he was coming down, I may have gotten a little bit heated, and I may have just been calling him a bitch a lot, and I may have been using some words that weren't allowed on TV. I may have thrown a couple F-bombs in there, so I understand that AEW probably had to edit some of that stuff out. I get it.
Give him the old Philadelphia brotherly love greeting.
Yeah.
You know.
Although I do love Big Bill's tights that just say "too much man" on the ass. I think that's fucking hilarious.
That's a whole lot of man.
It's just 7 foot tall of a man. You can't teach that. But let's go into that match because that is a trios match that's on the card. We have the team of the Learning Tree, which is Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith, versus my favorite team, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. I think this match is going to be exactly made for me, where it's just going to be Hook and Samoa Joe and Shibata kicking Chris Jericho's ass, and I'm happy with that. So I think the team of Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata are going over for sure. I also think, just for the sake of visual, they should finish Hook's story and give him Taz's black towel, so that way you have Hook with a towel, Samoa Joe with a towel, and Shibata with a towel during their entrances.
Oh, the towel
Well, I
boys.
think that's what this match is. I believe that's how he earns his towel. I believe it grows on him like a Pokemon.
Oh, nice. Oh, your Hook is evolving.
Yeah.
Just to piss Era off, because I'm still jealous that the Eagles won the snow game and the Lions didn't. Give me the Learning
Understandable. Listen, it could happen. It could.
It could.
They're a heel team.
Chris
They're a heel
Jericho
team.
pinning Hook.
They're a heel team in a trios match. If they could get away with so much fucking shit, it could happen.
Fun fact that not a lot of wrestling fans know about: Chris Jericho beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. So he's
To
proven
become the first ever undisputed WWE champion.
Oh God, yeah, so good.
And
So-
he'll also
when he
teach
got
you how to eat
backstage,
chicken and
everybody was
rice
gone.
backstage.
He can also teach you how to hold the camera backstage.
Again,
Well, Shibata can teach you how to hold the camera too.
That's true.
Do you think he could teach Okada how to run the soundboard or no?
No, probably not.
Probably
I don't
not.
know if Chris
I'm so
Jericho's ever run sound.
Bitch.
Bitch.
I love that Shibata's new catchphrase is just bitch.
Bitch. Him and Okada are learning so many new words. I love it.
But yeah, so okay, so Jackal, you think the team of the Learning Tree? I think Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. Mike, who you got?
Yep.
I think it's got to be Samoa Joe and Hook
Thank
and
you.
Shibata.
Thank you. All right, so when we're correct, Jackal, just remember, you chose this fate.
I did. I'm dead. I'm gonna stick to it.
Also, I just want them to give the FTW title back to Hook, because he looks so weird without any kind of title around his waist. You know, like it was the same thing of like when the Usos first lost their championship, where like you just see somebody with that title for so long, you know, where it's like, oh yeah, the FTW title, yeah, that's like, oh yeah, that's you know, that's Hook's gimmick, you know, and it's like then you take that away from him, and it's like it just doesn't look right, you know.
Well, especially because, no offense to Taz, it's not a real fucking belt. It's not like it actually matters, and they have proven time and again that it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, it's
And,
entrance attire. It's, you know.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, it makes sense on Hook, and then it's on anybody else, and you're like, oh.
I hate it.
Yeah. But then we can go into the last match of the evening.
We're back to the MJF one that we didn't get to talk about.
Okay, do we... okay, who did you... First of all, do either of you know who Hechicero is? Because I don't.
After 2 episodes of Dynamite, a little?
More than I did before.
Okay, so Mike and I know the exact amount, which is that he's just a luchador.
Luchador, who's not going to beat our favorite scumbag, coming on back, who's sure as shit not going to lose his first pay-per-view match back at fucking MJF. By far. I'm sorry.
Well, his first match back in general, right? He hasn't had a match yet.
I thought he fought the...
Yeah, he had one against Roosh this week.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Still, I mean, come on, man. MJF, for sure. We don't...
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right. My bit's over. We can go to the next match.
We can go over to the last match, which is for the it's not the finals. I think it's the first round of the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament thing that they do.
Starting now, which is confusing.
So it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. I'm going to be watching this match just because Bryan Danielson has been very vocal that he does not have many matches left. He wants to retire while he can still walk and spend time with his daughter, and I respect that. So I don't know if Bryan Danielson's going to win.
With his family.
Yeah, right. What a fucking bitch.
What a dweeb.
What a dweeb. Go wrestle. Go. What, you don't want to travel like 300 days out of the year or some bullshit like that? What, come on. You want to go to your daughter's birthday? What a fucking dweeb.
Just shut up and fight, wrestler boy.
But no, I don't know if Danielson's gonna win the Owen. There's a wild card spot which I assume is going to be the winner of the Owen. That could also be Shane McMahon. But I don't feel like Danielson's gonna win the Owen Hart Cup, but I feel like Danielson's gonna win this match. Because why the fuck else would they schedule Bryan Danielson for like one of his last matches?
I will be watching this match alongside you, but the difference between you and I, my friend, is that I will be watching this match butt-ass naked. I am very excited for this one. I think this one's probably going to be the match of the night, whereas Ospreay and Swerve should be the main event. I still think this one's going to be the match of the night, just because, God damn it, Bryan Danielson is good as what he does, and I think, we'll take a little side wager. Does he come out with the Final Countdown again, or do you think Tony Khan blew his load on the Stadium Stampede match?
No, I think he comes out the Final Countdown. Because isn't he technically like on AEW's board now? Like, isn't he like one of the people making decisions? I feel like he's gonna just want to because I know he said that he likes Final Countdown as his music. So I feel like he's going to probably come out to that.
I mean, shit, you got the rights for it. You might as well hold on to the damn thing, huh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. Probably one of the last few times where it's going to be a match big enough and have enough gravitas to it to be able to do so. So I want to hear it. Give me Final Countdown. Give me Danielson. I think this match is going to be a banger.
It's got to be Danielson, I would assume.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, Shingo Takagi, he's like consistently on the PWI top 500. You know, like it's not like he's like number 200. He's like, I think he's like top 10. Like, you know, so it's not like this is a bad opponent for Bryan Danielson either. You know, like this is going to be a great match, and I don't know where on the card this is going to go. I assume that the AEW World Championship is going to be the main event, but in purely caliber of wrestlers and star power, I feel like this could be, you know, match of the night, if not a very, very, very close contender. But
Mike?
What?
Did you not say your thoughts?
Oh, he did.
I did.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
now I cut him off.
I see somebody doesn't
I'm
listen
not
to me.
even paying attention to him now. Oh, no, I'm such a bad friend.
Well, you don't have to pay attention anymore, because that is the end of AEW Forbidden Door. We went through it. It's 10 matches on the card.
Well,
it's a fucking long one.
Another match randomly comes out this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which, knowing Tony Khan, I would not put it past him.
Probably. Yep. Yeah. I mean, you know, for context, like we always give, we record these on Mondays right before Raw. Raw's just about to start. So, you know, if other matches get announced and we didn't talk about it, we got fucking lives, so we can't record this shit last minute. I need time to edit. But if you enjoyed this episode, you can go ahead and just give us a like on YouTube and, you know, hit that subscribe, because if you're listening now, it means that you obviously liked us. And you know, hit that little bell icon so that way you get notifications when we upload, because in July with the release of EA Sports College Football 25. We'll be releasing stuff there. And as we're able to get out to other wrestling events, or as we come across ideas in 2K24, which I have a couple, we're gonna be getting some videos out over on YouTube, and you can go over at TikTok. We're over at their 3 Counting Out podcast, and we're on Twitter at 3 Counting Out Pod. If you're listening over on Spotify, go ahead and just drop us a little rating. I'm not gonna say you have to leave a 5-star rating, but I like to think that we're a 5-star podcast. Just like what we talked about in the beginning of the episode, that was a question from the Spotify Q&A. So if you got a question, go ahead and submit it on Spotify or through the YouTube comments. I don't really watch any of the other sites that we post to. Like I check to make sure, but I'm not really watching the comments over there. So YouTube or Spotify is your best bet. If you enjoyed me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/EraV1 or at YouTube at EraV1 Music.
If you like me for some reason and you want to hear more of my voice, hunt them down or look at your local Applebee's during all-you-can-eat soup and salad.
Understandable. Yeah, I'll be right there with you.
If you enjoyed what I did, you can find me in any sort of Fortnite lobby around the world arguing with a 12-year-old that the game in its current state now is better than the game than it was 8 years ago, but they're just not going to listen because they're a stubborn 12-year-old and I need to grow up and touch grass. Or if that's too hard to do, I guess twitch.tv/JackalJoker or youtube.com/JackalJoker works just as well.
You also have 12-year-olds in your chat telling you that you look like a Funko Pop.
I know. They said, well, Fatty, what is your job? Getting up and walking to the fridge, fat ass? I cried myself to sleep that night, man. It's not good.
Well, I'm sorry. I won't be as mean next time. I'm sorry.
No. I don't look like a hobgoblin. I'm just a fat, balding white guy, okay?
Hey, me too, man. Me too.
Jesus.
Jokes on you. I'm fat and already bald.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock. Hey, how about this? For this week and this week alone, no pin. Let's be friends, We can all walk off into the sunset together. Because I got a text right here. Kevin said he was going to try to pin William Shatner. So that's not our responsibility this week. Is that good with you guys? Right? Buddies, old pals, the losing the hair crew. I mean, Mike, well, you already lost all your hair, so I guess,
And yep, that's it. All right, brass nuts.
I'm going to count it. 1,
Here we go.
2,
count it.
3.
Count it. I'm
Please don't hit me. Please don't. Listen, Mike. You can put the brass knucks down. You can put them down. You made your point. Cool. Your beard is beautiful and sexy, and it's very nice. Better than mine.
Oh God, he broke my tooth. I broke my tooth.
Was that the same tooth that you can find in Indiana?
Yeah, well, probably. Oh, God. Oh, the pain. Mike, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ow.
It's okay. I forgive you now, buddy.
Oh, we're all friends in the end. There you go.
Happy ending. Friendship.
Happy ending.
Oh, can you call a doctor?
No,
we don't have insurance.
No, God, no.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Sorry. I forgot we don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Be like Chad Gable and walk it off.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. The rumors of my broken tooth were greatly exaggerated.